Welcome to Bosryers 4x4, episode number 9, Hutgrot. Right guys, so today we are here at the Bosryers 4x4 episode number 9 here at Hutgrot, Carletonville. With me here I've got Willem Lemko. He is also the man in charge together with his partner Pieter, who laid out this beautiful track that we have here today. Willem, goed om hier so by oom te wees vandag.
Welkom man.
En baie dankie dat ons genooi het om saam met ons hier te wees. Sê gou vir my, die area hier buite Carletonville. Hoe het oom hulle op hierdie area gekom en hoe het dit gebeur dat oom hulle 4x4 baan hierso bou?
Man, ek is lief vir die natuur en ek soek altyd plekke om te ry en so het ek die plek gekry, ja. So 6 maande gevat om die paar plekkies op te spoor tussen die langsgrasse, ja.
Okay, en hoe het dit gebeur dat oom hierdie plek gebou kry?
Hierdie 2 hande en 2 Land Rovers en my vriend Pieter Jonker.
Maar hy's nog nie buite ons, hy kom nog.
Hy
gaan ons nou join.
Daar kom hy onderaan.
So hy kom so agter die groot groep mense in. So terwyl die kamera daar is, kan julle ook sien hoe mooi is hierdie view wat ons hierso het. Die lekker groot groep mense wat ons het en dan Pieter wat ons so binne die volgende 2-3 minute hier by ons gaan inskakel. En hoeveel obstacles maar nog meer het ons hier vandag?
57.
57. Ja. Genade, ek dink ons gaan die hele naweek lank hierso ry. En die majority van die obstacles, het ons water, het ons modder, het ons klip, het ons grond, wat het ons?
Die enigste water is wat jy in jou bottel gebring het hierso. Dis 90% klip en 'n bietjie losgrys, ja.
Bietjie losgrys, ja. En aanbeveling op banddruk, waarna kyk ons?
Ek ry normaal 2 bar 2.2, maar jy kan afgaan tot 1.6 as jy bietjie skrikkerig is die klippe, ja.
Okay. En persoonlike gevoel oor die verskeidenheid van voertuie wat ons vandag hier het. Hoe dink ons gaan die groep doen?
Goed. Nee, die voertuie wat hier is, hulle behoort dit goed te doen, ja.
En grondvrye hoogte, want hier is so 3 voertuie wat bietjie laag is.
Hierso, ja, jy het grondvrye hoogte nodig, baie belangrik, ja. Kyk, eintlik het jy Land Rover nodig, maar yes, dan kan ons afgaan, grondvrye hoogte is dan nommer 2, ja.
Wel, we moet duidelik nog een is aangery, maar is reg.
So ek hoop die mense ry veilig en om die dag geniet.
Alright, ons sien mekaar aan die ander kant van die eerste obstacle. Let me introduce today's drivers to you. Willem with his Land Rover Defender. Etienne with Baby Hulk. Lappies with his Mahindra Thar. Higu with Rissipit. Leon with his camera car. Johan with a Pajero. Gert with his Jeep Rubicon. Gerard with his Isuzu. Stefan with his Defender. Frik with Vuma. Maurits with his White Pony. Pieter with Lolux. Vic with Heeltyd Speeltyd. Etienne with his Ford Ranger. Armand with his White Jeep. Dirk with Dirkie. Jog with his Defender. Kenny with the Epic Bug. Zachreis with Grijsbeer. Right guys, so this is obstacle 1 for today here at Hutgrot in Carletonville. We already took this hence, you can see the tracks that is lying here. But this axle twisting has got huge deep ruts and a few of our vehicles got stuck. Check this to see how we did it. Starting off the day is Willem Lemko leading the way. So this is our first obstacle by the Hutgrot here in Carletonville today. It's a huge axle twister, all natural grounds. So this is going to be quite interesting. I'm not even in 4x4 yet. Let's do that first. This is quite deep ruts, so too much momentum can throw you completely over. If you go too slow, you can stall your vehicle like I just did.
You can also easily get stuck on your belly, so you can't take it too slow, so that you can slide over. At least it's soft ground, so that you don't, if you're afraid of too much camber, this one will definitely intimidate you.
Ready, go!
So here by the Bosryers we are not problem free. So my good friend Hutgrot is standing here with his Isuzu on the first obstacle for the third time. Tell me Hutgrot, what do you think is the issue?
Tires and height.
So you don't have great ground clearance
That's correct.
and the wrong tires. What tires have you got on at the moment?
4 normal road tires.
Normal road tires. Okay. Anyway, you're going to pull him out with your defender, am I right, Stefan?
Yes.
Alright, are we going to pull it all the way to the end or just out of this specific obstacle? What do you prefer?
All the way.
All the way?
Yeah.
Alright, keep it slow, keep it steady and keep the rope tight. Enjoy guys. Als hy tight, jy kan
on this specific obstacle, diff lock is a bit on your side, but if you don't have diff lock, it's not a major crisis. However, what is a crisis is great ground clearance. So if you have it, you go through. If you don't, you get stuck. That's your only obstacle on this obstacle.
And as you know the Bosryers by now, we came across this obstacle which was not even part of the actual track today. So when we saw it, we just couldn't resist. It's a very steep incline with a huge axle twisting on top and a steep down, extremely short, so you need to take it with momentum and literally stop dead on top and go down extremely slow.
With no vehicles on this obstacle before, Lolax is coming to open this track for the first time. Taking it quite cautiously, you can see how he's also struggling a bit the first time. However, after that, he goes over quite nicely and preparing the way for the vehicles to follow. They're coming in second with his little Jeep called Dirkie. Not making it out now, but stay tuned to see what happens later. Armand coming in next with his Jeep. Not making through the first time, as you can see the track is still very slippery, but he makes it out the second time. And Igu coming with Rissy Pit, the first one to make it out the first time. Congratulations, Igu! And this is Johan coming in with his Pajero, solely depending on his traction control, not wanting to use momentum at all. After a few attempts, he decided this obstacle is not for him.
Oh, amper.
And this is Vic Saunders coming in with his red Pajero, opening up the dance floor for extreme craziness. Well done, Book. And this is Stefan Low coming with his Defender, raising the bar to that crazy standard. And this is Moritz Smuts with his white pony, coming in, not backing down at all, doing quite well. And Kenny coming in with his pipe car, just being too fast for the cameraman. And this is Frick Bosov coming in with his Vuma Bakkie, doing it the correct way of crawling obstacles, but soon realizing that this slippery obstacle is not for crawling, but absolute momentum.
Daar is mooi.
Gert van die Kerk coming in with his powerful Jeep and huge wheels, making this obstacle look so easy.
At first I did not want to do this second obstacle, because this was not even an obstacle to start with. It's just something that the Bosryers saw again, and now I'm basically first. Didn't make it out the first time. I think I left my juice just too fast.
And this is Agreis coming in with Gracebeer, taking this obstacle quite calm and graciously, as always. We don't see too many Fords on these episodes, but Etienne Lowe coming in with his brand new Ford Ranger, making the name of Ranger quite proud. Dirk coming back with Dirkie for round number 2, but this time the wrong way around, and not only wrong way around, in reverse as well. Well done.
Rechts, draai rechts.
Sorry.
Te veel, assai.
Mooi.
Torero Productions is your one-stop production company. We provide events with all the technical services like professional sound, stages, lighting, for events such as weddings, corporate events, gospel shows, clubs, stadium festivals, and many more. Torero Production caters for all your events, big and small, with big screens, cameras, power distribution, and backlight. With our high-class equipment, dedicated and qualified team, we can cater for the masses and at the same time pay attention to the small details. Use Torero Production for your next event and experience the difference. For more information, call 082 395 0771.
Now let's get back to the real obstacles.
Alright guys, so this is our third obstacle for the day, but on this specific farm it's our first obstacle. The first two we did elsewhere, and on view it doesn't look that intimidating, but the moment you're in the obstacle, things change completely. Right, so we have the first obstacle by Hutgrot, and this one has got various lane options that you can choose from. I'm going a slight bit more difficult option, not the most difficult, but not the easy option, and I think I'm stalling anyway, and I don't think I'm doing too bad. Peter in front is giving me some lines to make it a bit easier to make sure that I don't damage my tires.
As you approach this obstacle, there's various lane options. To the more right hand side of the obstacle, it's quite easy, and going more to the left hand side of the obstacle, it becomes quite extreme. Stefan, being the first person on this specific obstacle, to go a little bit more extreme, choosing a bit more difficult line option, breaking the ice.
Nice.
Peter coming in with low lux, choosing the most difficult, most extreme option on this specific obstacle, and you can literally see how his big 33-inch wheels get stuck in between the rocks.
Nou klep. Hy is ook so in 'n V. En daai kant toe. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Hy klep is hier onder, man. Daar sy, kom eens op.
Kenny coming in with his pipe bar. Remember, this is a 2x4 1800 Golf engine without any low range, and is actually doing quite well on this rocky terrain that's not meant for his vehicle. And And this is Peter coming in with his Freelander, also being part of the team who built this track. This is a privilege for us to have you with us. Thank you, Peter.
Alright, so guys, we are standing here in the bush with my good friend Vic here, and apparently his vehicle is as hot as his color. And tell me, your first time with this vehicle in the bush?
Yeah, I just bought it on Monday and then we gave it a bit of TLC, so we never drove it until today, and now I see it's got a bit of a overheating problem, you see.
Is it because the wife is hot or what?
It's very plausible. I mean, we must look at all possibilities, and that's definitely one.
Alright, and what do you think is the damage?
I think viscous is not lacquer, but you have to do a chemical test and check if the head gaskets and stuff is fine. If the head gaskets and stuff is fine, we'll go to the viscous and the water pump, and then you do a radiator flush, and then you take it from there.
Alright, now tell the people quickly, what is your occupation?
I'm a panel beater and a towing truck operator. So I'm the owner of overall the panel beaters, and I'm the owner of Big Towing.
And so semi-mechanic.
Yeah, well, we do mechanical work for ourselves, yeah.
Alright, so you know the saying, the shoemaker never has got shoes for his kids, ne?
Ah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Now this venue is called Hutgrot, and the reason for that is all these caves that is running underground underneath this track. Now in the center of the track, literally on top of the mountain, this is where you will find the entrance of this cave. The cave splits in various directions. The first direction is going to Bosryers side. That's roughly a 3.5 kilometer length. Then you will find the exit at Bosryers. To the other direction, you go to the Stilfontein underwater source, and that's roughly a 7.5 kilometer length. And of course, if you have mother-in-law issues, this is the advice that Moritz would give you.
Ja, dis nou waar jy skoonmaak los.
After the visit to the cave, we went back where we came from to go to the other obstacles that's still waiting for us. On our way to the other side of the farm, we came across a few rocks that had some sharp edges and decided that we're just going to move them out of the way before we lose some tires.
Here at the Hutgrot Recording Studio, we specialize in weddings, corporate functions, event coverage, post-production, music videos, documentaries, and so much more. Feel free to come in contact with us for a quote today.
And on the top of the mountain, we have some areas where the grass is so long that you cannot see the true obstacle it is. So there was a few rocks that is either a sunbreaker or a diff breaker, And then on top of that, we have this narrow road that you have to go through. And we were solely depending on our co-drivers to give us directions so that we don't damage our vehicles. With these narrow roads, sharp turns, long grass, huge sump or diff breakers, this track is extremely technical.
Jy moet terugdraai.
Dis ek like dit, maar speel mooi uit die pad tyd maklik sê.
Ja, okay.
Now this specific obstacle has got some huge nice flat rocks, but in between there's also these huge ruts. So what makes or breaks this obstacle, whether you make it or you don't make it, is literally ground clearance, tires, not momentum, when to use momentum, when to use power, etc. So this is also a very technical section of the track. So there's not really a way to say this is how you do it, because it changes continuously. if you have huge ground clearance, you can glide over these rocks quite graciously. However, if you don't have great ground clearance, you will definitely get a few bumps, you will get a few bruises, and you will definitely get a few scratches. So line choice is of absolute value. In this specific obstacle, there is no correct line. This is a huge layout of various rocks, so you basically choose which difficulty level you want to go to. Some take it a bit more easy, some take it a bit more off camera, and others take it to go over huge rocks. So this is an obstacle that you can make your own.
Volg je die rode lijn? Daar achter de lijn wel. Zijn weer? Kan niet weer niet. Die voordraad zo echt van lucht weer hier. Die speerselen ja die 4 stap helemaal daar naar handen. Ik kan lucht weer. Ja, precies man.
Alright guys, so we're here at a quite challenging obstacle. It's not something where you can roll your vehicle or anything like that, but it is extremely technical, and it is one huge amount of rocks and stones that you need to crawl over with, and to have the correct line is extremely crucial, because you can definitely cut your wheels, you can easily damage your turf. So yeah, it's extremely technical, but we enjoy the challenge. This is unfortunately one of those tracks where you need to take your time.
Okay, wou kom weer terug, kijk langs. Ek sien jy like die sturing oefening nou, kyk jou meer. Moet jy 'n bietjie
Terugkry?
Ja, hoekom nie?
Waarvoor?
Vir wat jy môre gaan doen. Ek nou draai jy reg. Dan volg jy hom, daar's die volgende klip vorentoe se weer ene. Hier reg, Pas hom, bietjie langs. Daar's jy op hom, daar gaan jy.
Need to crawl it out slowly and you'll be safe, because if you do anything momentum wise here, you will guarantee lose some parts on your vehicle.
Hey.
This episode is brought to you by Torero Productions, sound, staging and lighting company. Torero Logistics Transport Services. Think Metal for all your metal fabrication needs. The country pie with the most delicious spice in South Africa. Love My Prints for all your printing to be done on merchandise, vehicles, etc. Rolf's Workshop for all maintenance that you need to have done on your vehicle. Contact Rolf. CSE Contractors for power distribution, generators and CCTV installations. At the Garage Recording Studios, contact Variant for your next production. We had a little bit of rain earlier today, and with this little obstacle being a level 4 obstacle as it is already, with the rain making it wet, this becomes an extremely difficult obstacle. So with huge ruts, huge rocks, this is not easy. Most of us, we made it. Unfortunately, there's one that just couldn't see the end. Ladies and gentlemen, please cast your attention to the right front wheel. And at that moment, the tie rod end broke. And as the vehicle came down, it also broke one of the rocks on the bottom.
Hou vast, dat er niet stopt zit. Dus daar kan je druk. Zet dan eens op. Klip het gebreek.
Dis 'n breek. Waar is hom nie dan?
Alright, so here we are at Hutgrot, and this obstacle didn't have a name, but I think this name of this obstacle will be Terminator now. And the reason for that is pretty much the same thing happened to my vehicle at Bosryers, and that obstacle was also called Terminator. And that is where I lost my control arm. But now in this case, Higu, on this little obstacle, his turret end broke off completely. So Higu, what to do now, bud?
Well, luckily we've got a lot of friends here.
We call them bush mechanics.
Bush mechanics, we'll take it apart, we weld it and we'll carry on.
Okay, so we're going to weld it, because in all honesty there's no way that the towing vehicle will be able to get onto this mountain.
No chance, no chance, you're right.
Alright, so we take the turret end out, we're going to take it to be welded, bring it back, fit it and continue.
We'll see, yeah, definitely.
Alright, all the best, bud.
Thank you very much.
And Grijsbeer coming up with Grijs behind the steering wheel, crawling it up on this obstacle, doing quite well. Unfortunately, with the track being so wet, it just couldn't crawl it out completely. So Grijs needing to go a little bit back and coming again with a bit more momentum just to bounce Grijsbeer over that lip.
Nero. Okay. Give me earrings.
And this is where you can clearly see, no matter how capable that 2x4 of Kenny is, this is a 4x4 terrain, this is a 4x4 obstacle. So that 2x4, even though it made it out, Kenny really had a hard time getting through this obstacle. and with the old railroad track running also through this farm, Willem and Pieter decided to make a few up and down obstacles going over this railway track. And I must say, this part of the track was extremely fun. This part of the track was extremely nice. No rocks whatsoever. This was just a Sunday play.
CSE Contractors. Electrical Certificate of Compliance. Specializing in power distribution and generator rentals for events. General maintenance and installations. And CCTV camera installations. Contact Koen on 082 346 6356. CSE Contractors.
On the second set of ups and downs, I decided, well, why not? Let's try to see what this does in reverse. And keeping in mind, it still rained earlier today, so this was quite muddy, quite slidey. Believe me, this is not as easy as it looks.
It's too slidey. I tried.
After I tried it with my Nissan hardbody, Sagrys came with Grysbeer and also attempted to see if he can make it through, but even he failed.
net te veel my oom.
Gaan jy probeer?
Daar's hy.
Alright guys, so this is the last obstacle of the day, and steep uphill. The moment that the sun comes out behind the mountain, I can't see anything. So as long as the sun is hidden behind the mountain, I can take this obstacle with ease and with pleasure. But let's hope the sun stays away.
No, Clipper's not.
Right, so now the sun is in my eye and is blinding my vision completely, so I can't see much in front of me.
Because we were such a huge convoy, we could not experience all 52 obstacles in a one-day span that Hutgrot had to offer. If you would like to experience Hutgrot at its fullest, you can either contact myself or Willem to make an appointment to join in all the fun.
Thank you very much for watching episode number 9 of Bosryers, and just so that you know also that this is the place where the Bosryers started roughly about 1.5 years ago, and I've got Willem and I've got Peter to thank for that, because these two gentlemen is the people who made this place, this 4x4 track on this farm, and the people who pulled me in and told me, come, we'll show you a thing or two. And I must say, between these two guys I learned a lot. Peter, any comments from your side?
No, just a very nice day. Enjoyed it. Nice, big load of cars it was here. It was really fun to see the guys enjoy the track.
Awesome.
Great fun.
Awesome. And Willem, anything from your side?
Goed, ek wil net die Hemelse Vader dankie sê. Dit was 'n suksesvolle dag. Niemand het seer gekry nie, bietjie skade op van die voertuie. Maar verder is baie mooi geloop. En dankie vir almal wat hier was. Uit my hart uit, baie dankie. En dankie vir Etienne, die Bosryers. Julle is eisters my maat.
Awesome. Baie dankie vir julle.
Waardeer dit.
Dit was 'n plesier geweest om hier by julle te wees, en ja, van die obstacles baie tegnies, krappies hier en daaronder wat grondvry hoogte betref, maar die belangrikste is dis nie obstacles wat jou bang maak of wat jou voertuig kan laat rol nie.
Ja.
En dis uitstekende werk wat julle doen. Baie dankie.
Dankie julle.
Anyway guys, the next episode we will shoot in Christiana. That's one to look out for. Alright guys, so we are the Bosryers, and we would like to invite you to join us with your 4x4 vehicle on our next expedition. So make contact with me, and we'll see you on the next one.
Ry hier in die bosveld en die vuurtjie brand te mooi. Die songesig oor die rots en klippe en natuur wat ons uitnooi. Ons ry waar ander net kan droom en die son sak in die bos. Ons bosryers het modderbloed en ons kry jou in die bos.